Have you ever heard a British person speak Spanish?
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's very funny.
Where
Love
would you hear
Island.
this? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Love
Love
Island
Island
for sure.
common.
Yeah.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? It's great.
I also like when they say Mallorca.
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 What's the other?
Ibiza.
Thank you. I was like, what's the other party city?
Ibiza.
Ibiza. I love Ibiza. We're in a whole other world over there, girl. Gotta check it out. Except if you do get into Love Island, you have to watch all the old seasons.
The first season is the best season.
No, season 5. Oh, season 5.
I've only ever watched the first season.
Oh, so that's all you can
Okay.
speak to.
Season 5, they're all still best friends. They all go on vacations together. Some have had babies
fun.
together. I don't know if anyone has gotten married yet, but all of them have moved in together. Like, it was the most successful Love Island season so far. I love them. To this day, still follow people from that season. And I rarely follow influencers.
Yeah.
But sorry, it's summers, which means it's Love Island time.
Yeah. It just feels like such a big commitment.
It is
to get into.
I saved a good chunk of it for the winter of 2020. I only watched one season during that summer, like the first one, and was like, holy crap, these people are insane. Have to watch more.
Yeah.
But then when we were like in COVID, can't leave the house. Also, it's bitter cold in Washington. I will now become a little groundhog and I will watch 4 seasons of Love Island on top of each other.
Which is like 120 hours of content.
Yeah. I'm not proud of it.
I mean,
or am I?
Each season is like 30 plus episodes.
No, 50.
50.
Yeah.
And they're all an hour long.
Yeah, because then you have Love Island After Sun.
Oh boy.
Which is the Saturday episode.
Yeah.
And you get to see all the people that got kicked off that week.
Yeah.
You get to talk about the tea. And you get to talk to Islanders that are still in the house.
That's so
yeah,
wild.
they have like after shows like every week instead of just at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And the reunions are crazy. They're so entertaining. Love.
So much fake tan.
So much fake tan.
So much teeth whitening.
So many veneers.
So many veneers.
I feel like the course from being on Love Island to getting veneers, like the second you get out, you're an influencer, you have millions of followers, and you have veneers within the 6 months after you get off the island. It's hilarious.
Same exact thing happens with Drag Race.
Oh, really?
With the drag queens, yeah. The pipeline.
That's the word I was looking for. Like,
yeah, pipeline of RuPaul's Drag Race to veneers is very short and straight to the point.
Could never get veneers.
Really?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, because when
they destroy your natural teeth.
When the apocalypse happens and your veneers are popping off and there's no dentists available, what are you gonna do? Yeah. What are you gonna eat? Baby food. Yeah, because they're little nubbies.
Well, there are some dentists that do it and like keep your tooth intact.
Yeah,
and they just like basically put it on top of your current tooth. Mm-hmm. So they don't have to shave down your teeth.
Okay,
that's good.
I would like to see that one because the Carl from Summer House, he got the shaved down veneers and they look awful. He looks like a creepy clown.
They're way too big for his mouth.
Huge. Yeah. Well, and he's also lost a lot of unnecessary weight because he was already too skinny.
Yeah.
And his face looks just like sunken. Yeah. Makes me sad.
Yeah.
He's got that
not really.
The buccal
fat removal
face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyways,
who knows?
Hi. Welcome to Blood and Contract.
Hello.
We're at the end of our pod weekend, so the eye bags are eye bagging for me, personally. I also don't wear concealer, so maybe that would help.
Oh, I put it.
She's like,
concealer.
Yeah.
Paint it. Today we're doing Book Clurb. Which I got to witness in real time, Kelly getting to the epilogue.
Oh. Upsetting.
She goes, what? And I was like,
I didn't want to say anything last night.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, be prepared to be just annoyed.
I know. I didn't say it either, but I knew. I was like, did you get to the epilogue? She's like, yes.
Because there's just so much buildup for the last 30 minutes of the book.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the audiobook like we did, or the last, like 2 chapters. And then you get to the epilogue and it's like, and then it was over.
And then I woke up.
I woke up in a new body and I'm hot now. And oh, look, the girl I like is now hot too.
Yeah.
And we hugged and then it ended.
Yeah.
But we're
they
going on
hugged
new
and then-
adventures.
Okay, so
Like teased it like there might be
a sequel.
A sequel.
I
Yeah.
immediately went to his author page and was like, where is it?
It's a standalone.
Yeah.
It's totally standalone.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was supposed to be a sequel, but I wonder if
Yeah.
he just got no traction when
Yeah,
it came
maybe.
out. 'Cause it
Maybe.
came out in 2020.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Woof.
Okay,
Rough.
well, let's back up just a little bit. So we're
Way
going
up.
to talk about the book, our overall thoughts, and just takeaways, and then we'll pick our next book for August. We have some on the board still that we can definitely choose from, and I brought 2 physical ones
I just brought one book this
throw in.
Okay.
because
Okay.
I'm leaving in the books that I brought last month since they didn't get picked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel like we've got a good handful still.
Mhm.
But should we do a Jacques first?
Sure.
Sure. If you'd like to pause this episode, go quickly listen to Re-Coil by JT Nicholas and then come back. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Or we'll just wait for our reviews and be like, I'll decide.
Our non-spoiler free reviews.
Oh, we gonna spoil.
Spoil. Like milk.
Question. Ooh. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and how would you use it? Shalsey just immediately does Spider-Man fingers?
Yeah.
You-
No, that's not the one I want.
That
but
sounds
that was instantly
terrifying.
Where it went was
Any like initial, does anyone have like an initial thought?
What about you?
I know what I would want to
Oh,
do.
wow. Oh, tell me.
What do you want?
So have you ever seen the movie Jumper?
Yes.
Mm.
You don't like that?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
You want to explain it for those that don't know?
Well, so their superpower in that movie is you can basically look at a picture of any place and just instantly teleport and like jump to that
Ooh,
location.
That's good.
That is what I would want to do.
It's
You
really
have. I
cool.
would hope you have to be doing it on purpose and not just like, oh no, I accidentally looked at
Yeah.
a picture.
You're just on
And now I'm
Instagram.
in Columbine.
Like, oh dear God. Wait, I can't remember. Can you go in the past with Jumper? I haven't seen that in so long.
I don't think it's time travel. It's
No.
just location travel.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
you
like-
still don't want to. I said Columbine, and I meant Chernobyl.
Either way,
Still,
not a
not
great.
Yeah.
times.
That's
Yeah.
why I said, can you jump in the past?
Yeah.
But still, I don't.
No.
For my purpose, I wouldn't want to time travel.
Yeah.
I would just want to be able to location jump whenever
Yeah.
I wanted to,
Absolutely.
and that way I can.
Oh, you save
Do
so
whatever I
much money
want.
on gas.
Yeah.
Flights.
Your carbon footprint would be
I know.
a big old
Yeah.
Easter egg.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You're welcome, environment.
You-
Can you imagine what the government,
Saving the world.
the
Yeah,
laws, the
one jump at a
government would
time.
put on that? Sorry, not to ruin your superpower.
What is up with you, Carlins? And instantly going to, well, you know what? This is going to be the negative impact of this choice. So
I
don't
said,
do
I
it.
said positive.
You did.
I did.
Sorry.
2 out of 3, though.
I'm
well,
sorry.
I don't know what to tell you, girlfriend. I love
Can I
that you
blame
had.
our dad?
Well, maybe.
You
I.
haven't been around him for a while, so no.
That's true.
You had one so fast.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I like it. That's a great one.
I want to know the weight bearing aspects of the Spider-Man.
What are my
Like,
limitations?
Yeah, like how strong are these webs?
I just immediately pictured you like on a tall building in Manhattan and then just going, woo, like slow Spider-Man.
Like the across the guys.
That's a Pixar movie waiting to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like there had to. I don't know. I only saw the first Spider-Verse.
Mhm.
There's got to be a Spider-Verse where there's a chubby Spider-Man.
Speak it into existence, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Pig gets to exist, and it's John Mulaney voicing it. So
There's a spider pig.
yeah, Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig does whatever a Spider-Pig does.
Nope, never heard of it.
Nope. Okay. Anyways, I think invisibility would be pretty sick. Although you'd have to be naked, or you could have. I mean, there is versions of like the invisibility superpower in some comic books where your clothes also disappear.
Or you could have a special invisibility suit.
True. Yeah.
Or a
I'll
cloak.
Cloak, yes.
Incredible
of
Four?
invisibility.
not Incredible Four. Incredible
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic.
Four.
The
That's so weird.
Incredibles.
The Incredibles. Yeah.
Oh my god, you osmosis knew that I wrote that down.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
have to reference Fantastic Four in my book review.
Oh,
Oh, funny.
Yeah. That's so weird. Okay.
Osmosis Jones, great show.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love that movie. And the show.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, I would also I want like magic school bus rules where like you just get to do whatever the bus can do. Like you can go big, go small, go
Yeah.
all the things.
Yeah. Okay.
Underwater.
Versatility.
Yeah, you got a lot of
superpower.
superpowers.
Breathing underwater would also be pretty
Oh my
sick.
god. Okay, too many. You only
Sorry.
get one.
Sorry.
God, this is so hard for me. I don't know why. I think it's because I just never have cared about Marvel, superheroes, comics. Has never interested me.
Yeah.
But I do like the jumper is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Flight for sure is a really cool one. But I immediately actually went to who's the blue girl in
Mystique.
Oh,
Mystique.
yeah.
First of all, she's a badass.
Yeah.
And she just gets to walk around with that blue body and the boobies. But
Yada,
she
yada,
can
yada.
morph into anyone.
Yeah.
And I would have some fun with that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good, X-Men mutant powers that are pretty.
That's the only
good.
movies, the series that I've paid attention to. But I haven't seen, I think there's like 2 new ones since the last one that I've seen could not tell you what they're about.
Yeah.
So Mystique morphing into something. Mm-hmm. Cool. I like it.
How fun.
Together we make the Fantastic 3.
Oh.
We love 3s. Jacques? Tell us what superpower you would want in the comments below. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video and rate and review us on podcast platforms.
It's just too similar to questions we've done recently.
I need to add more questions in this next break.
Oh, that's a fun one. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Dead or alive? Is that our rule?
Sure.
Yeah, dead or alive.
Your face.
Your face. Oh.
Your face was my face from the last question.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I have an immediate one.
I think I could like maybe try and think of someone, but I can't think of like a good enough reason to have dinner with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like just to say I did.
Just okay, yeah. The street cred of
Yeah.
getting okay.
Tupac.
There you go.
Why
That's some street cred.
why was Tupac in my head too?
Just dead.
I just want him to know.
Yeah.
I just want him to tell me who did it.
Yeah.
Did he?
Oh.
I
Who
would
else?
not like to have dinner with him.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I understand.
Nope, my whole brain just said
No.
forget all of the names.
I feel like I would want someone, I historically think more of like actors.
I know
Mhm.
that's who's in my head right now too.
And so I think like, oh, Audrey Hepburn would be a cool person to me, or
Yeah, for the street cred too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Even
gosh.
like
I
a
had-
Marilyn.
Yeah, I had breakfast at Tiffany's with Audrey.
I would die.
Yes.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are old actors too, but also questionable. Like I love Betty Davis, but she was not a good person in real life. She was kind of a
Yeah.
terrible mother and kind
Awful mother.
of ruined her child's life.
Yeah.
So, but like street cred wise, would love that just to like ask her all the questions about old Hollywood and like what it was like. She was called the bitch of Hollywood because she was like the first female in Hollywood to stand up to like all the Warner Brothers and
Oh,
like
really?
fight for her right to be on camera and fight to have more money. And she made it happen, but she only made it happen for herself, really. Like she was
Yeah.
one of those women that pulled the ladder up with her instead of extending a hand.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Lucille Ball.
Questionable too. She had a really messed up life
Mm.
and was not a great mother. Audrey Hepburn is a really great one because I mean she was like the Mother Teresa of Hollywood.
Yeah.
She like literally went and
Mother
like helped-
Teresa, not a good mother. Mother Teresa was an awful person.
She like
That's
went
fact.
and helped the sick and diseased and orphaned
Yeah.
after her career was over.
Yeah.
It's a great
Oh,
one.
I know mine.
What?
Princess Diana.
Oh.
How did we not?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be nice.
But only if it's like Princess Diana with Freddie Mercury, because they loved each other.
Yes.
I think that would just be a fun little kiki. I think it
Love.
would just be a fun little lunch.
I would love it to be Diana if she like didn't die. Like that
Yeah.
next year, she's still in Paris. She's living her life.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, a little Princess Di, maybe
Right.
a Betty White, because she also did a lot for women in television, women in comedy, but also just people in general. Like she, on her talk show, there's a great little documentary about her from a few years before she passed.
Yeah.
And talking about, like, I didn't know that she was one of the first syndicated shows to have, first of all, female-led syndicated television shows,
Right.
to have a regular who was a person of color. And when they were being syndicated, she was told, like, either you kick him off or these certain cities will not play it. And she was like, okay, we won't be in those cities then. Like, I'm not, he's been with the show for
X
ever.
amount of seasons.
And is also a friend and a person.
Yeah.
So no.
This is fresh because he just passed away yesterday. Donald Sutherland died.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
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 He's like the best Hollywood dad in my brain.
Yeah.
Him and Steve Martin.
The other person alive that I would like to,
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci.
Oh, Tooch.
Because he
Cooking
cooked
with
dinner.
Tooch.
Yeah.
Cooking
Could you
lesson
imagine?
with Tooch?
I
Yeah.
could imagine with his wife. Has to be with his wife.
Yeah.
And maybe Emily and what's his face?
John
John
Krasinski.
Krasinski.
Thank you.
I
Emily's
want
husband.
a family dinner at the Tucci house.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How fun.
Oh my
That
God.
would be very
Ina.
fun.
Duh. I would absolutely love to have dinner with Ina.
Yeah.
I will cook with her. She doesn't have to cook for me. I will help and assist.
I want to have tea with Anne Hathaway. Yeah. I just think
That'd be
it'd be
cool.
nice. She just seems kind.
She does seem kind, but there are moments. She's on TikTok all of a sudden now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Wall over. And there are just moments when I'm watching her videos where I'm like, you're too perfect. There's something there. I don't know. It's almost like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how are you this nice, this perfect? And you have been famous almost your entire life.
Yeah.
Like when she did Studio Ghibli, her voiceover, she was only 13 or 14, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She voices one of the, in a movie called Cat Returns, something Returns. And she plays a girl that turns into a cat.
I didn't know
And
that.
she did Princess Diaries after that.
Wow.
So she's been famous for a very long time. And I just don't know, like Jennifer Lopez, you are not down to earth. You have not experienced like real world
No.
things in
Yeah.
a very long time. How can you be this nice?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Jennifer Lopez isn't.
True. Exactly.
From the rumor mill, she is not.
Yeah, she's getting ripped apart lately.
Yeah.
Well,
She kind of deserves it.
about time.
Okay, so Ina, Tucci. Did you have any other living?
Living, maybe like a Michelle Obama.
No, thank you.
I think I liked her books a lot. I think I would like to. All of them are like, I want to have lunch with this person. Like, it's not even like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, she's on stage right now telling people that they're dumb because they're getting their news from TikTok and that they don't understand what's happening in the government. And I don't really like that. I don't like when politicians and their wives talk down to me as if I'm uneducated.
Yeah.
A little yucky.
Yeah.
Not a fan. But I understand. The book was good.
I read both of her books.
Speaking of books. Okay. Thoughts? We read Re-Coil this month.
By JT Nicholas.
It was very different for me. I like science fiction, but the gore sent me over the edge, personally.
Too much.
Wait,
Well, it was just immediate.
yeah, and consistent throughout the book, and the amount of times that they describe piles of bodies blocking doorways, and then other zombies trying to get over the piles of bodies, and then blood everywhere. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
My imagination is not in a happy place right now. But I will say, up until they get to the ship that he has to like launch himself onto or whatever.
Yeah.
First of all, that was the last 20% of that book. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The book until that point, I really enjoyed because I felt like the pace was really good. I also got to see so many different parts of their world. Like I love that he started in one place and every other chapter was opening up a new part of like the future of
A
what our world
different
would look
planet,
like.
different
Yeah.
spaceship, different hubs.
Yeah.
That part was really interesting.
Very interesting just to like kind of see. That's the beauty of science fiction, like what in their imagination would our world look like.
Mhm.
I do like that.
Can you re-give kind of a synopsis on what the book is about for anybody?
She's not prepared.
Sorry, the like what you had read to us, the episode that we picked the book.
Let me pull it up.
Okay.
Please hold.
So I just, for people who maybe didn't read the book or aren't going to, or
Yeah. We did find out that it's only a novel. He has written other books too, and he has a whole other series, which seems to be kind of in the same universe potentially. But yeah.
Or similar, and also sci-fi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not.
No, you're okay.
Coming up.
We can disregard. We can just verbally kind of say what it is.
He lives in a version of our universe that is hundreds of years in the future. It was never specified, but he kept referring to like centuries ago being our world.
Yeah, I do have the synopsis.
Okay, go for it, girlfriend.
Okay. So Carter Langston is murdered while salvaging a derelict vessel, a major inconvenience as he's downloaded into a brand new body on the space station where he's backed up several weeks' journey away. But events quickly slip out of control when an assassin breaks into the med bay and tries to finish the job. Death no longer holds sway over a humanity that has spread across the solar system. Consciousness can be placed in a new body or coil straight after death, giving people the potential for immortality. Yet Carter's backups, supposedly secure, have been damaged. His crew are missing, and everything points back to the derelict that should have been a simple salvage mission. With the enemies in hot pursuit, Carter tracks down his last crewmate, recoiled after death, into a body she cannot stand, to delve deeper into a mystery that threatens humanity and identity as they have come to know it.
Thank you, Mrs. Carlin.
You're welcome.
So the part about Chan. Yeah, the other like main character of the book she gets recoiled into a biologically male body, even though she's always been female.
That's her preference.
Yeah. Was so like such an interesting conversation, kind of in the background on gender.
Yes.
And gender presentation. And that was, I found that really interesting throughout the book.
And gender care.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of her storyline, although I have another note too, about how he perceives her gender was a little weird, and it was very consistent throughout the book, but I loved that the author immediately was like, gender affirming care is something that is automatically an option, that this isn't, if you have enough credits, is an easy thing to just get fixed for the coil that you're now in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be a worry if that is your preference. However, I didn't like that it immediately became this question of, if I'm richer, then it's easier to get to my preferential body type.
Which is already true.
Exactly. I was like, if this is a whole new world and we're hundreds of years in the future, then can't we just like immediately just get our preference no matter where we are on the scale of how much money we make?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, good health insurance still exists in this book.
That depressed me a little bit.
Yeah, that part I was like, oh.
and just like how immediately sad she was, and throughout like it's a constant thread throughout the whole book of her story of just like
her gender dysphoria and
depressed,
having to deal with being in this body that she doesn't belong in.
Yeah. Okay, so I liked that aspect too, like the conversation of almost like trans acceptance, right? But the way Carter describes her, I felt like he had to re-describe her issues every time he needed to describe something that they were doing together.
Yeah. She lifted me up, and it was with more force than she needed to because she wasn't used to her body.
Kelly, I highlighted that exact page because you know why?
No,
it's towards the end.
I listened to it.
It was at 97% into the book.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was one of the last interactions they have. And I was like, we still at 97% need to like have that in writing of how strong she is and how amazed he is about. I know it was just so odd, but that was like a consistent thing that he continued to do.
We already are well aware that she is a large man.
Yeah. Or
we get
every
it.
time it's like, if she had made that facial expression in her other face,
it would have looked like this.
It would have been normal. But now it just seems weird because it's a man face making that face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he says that like at least 3 or 4 times.
Yes. Yeah. And he says it a lot too when he's referencing her voice, because in the middle of the book, all of a sudden
she gets her voice back.
Yeah.
Well, but only
In his head.
in
Yes,
his brain.
yeah.
But every time she's in his head, he redescribes that it's her girl voice and not her man voice. And we're like, we get it.
Yeah.
Well, listening to the audiobook too, it's like, yeah, we know.
We know,
Like,
we're
You
there.
were doing your female voice acting.
Yeah,
like,
because it's
Really?
a man that reads.
because it's a guy who reads the
But
whole
he
book.
feminizes his voice a little
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, he
Yeah.
does like accents for each character.
Cute.
and,
Okay.
And like, yeah. Carter Langston had like a gruff, like
Yeah.
more.
Well, even so,
Gravelly.
he has
Yeah.
the voice that comes out of the coil that he's currently in.
Yeah.
Which is like super like low and really gruff
Mhm,
because
mhm.
he's in this big bulky muscly body,
Mhm.
as he also tells us
All
9,000
the time.
times.
Yes, he does. But I could not picture him other than this. I spent the entire book thinking that the main character looked like the Thing from Fantastic Four, Ben Grimm, because of how little he described his actual self.
Yeah.
The whole time I pictured him as Rockman.
See, I was picturing him more as like John Cena,
Okay, yeah.
but like a bulkier John Cena, like
Taller.
militant John Cena.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was like Mr. Incredible's like
Okay.
bigger,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Top body.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Dorito.
hilarious.
Yeah.
A Dorito body. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The other aspect of Shay's character too is there is no point in the book where Carter describes her as a him. He always used she, her, and feminine attributes. And
Mhm.
that's why I also didn't feel like his descriptions were necessary because we're always referring to her in a female pronoun. So
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
good. Okay, let's talk about the moment that I was waiting for Kelly to get to, which was you turned the page audibly and it's already the epilogue.
Yeah.
So they've had this huge battle scene for 20% of the book.
Mhm.
Everything is exploding, nothing is going right, and then
So many people are getting their heads cut off
thank you.
because there's an assassin with blades.
Also, I want a whole book about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the assassin.
The
and
assassin.
Yeah,
What was it? Corbin?
Corbin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was so interesting and I wanted to hear more. He has this aspect to his AI. So that was the other factor of the book is AI is very prevalent in our future, evidently. And Corbin allows his AI to take over his body and use his muscles to be able to become this crazy assassin.
Yeah.
But
To physically do things that his brain usually would not.
it was so lightly
allow him to be able to
talked
do.
about though. Like I wanted to hear so much
Yeah.
more. I wanted to hear like, why did he choose that AI? When did he choose it?
Yeah.
Why is he so willing to just randomly go off with the two of them now on this
Mhm.
adventure into space?
Yes.
Like that.
Right. Not like all of a
It's like,
sudden.
I guess I can have friends
He's
now.
like, oh yeah, we can work well together. So
Yeah.
I know I wanted to kill you like
A second ago?
a week ago, but want to work together now?
Besties.
Besties for the resties. Let's
so
go.
random. And the epilogue, not long enough.
No.
Nope.
At
It's
all.
like 2 pages.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's fine that it just cuts off and he's like awake after a battle that he died from. That
Mhm.
the immortality aspect, I also really wanted to get more information. I'm like, how many lifetimes have people lived now?
Because they never tell us how old he actually.
Yes.
How old his core is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
I was like, were you like they never really fully got into there's so much more lore that could have
Yes.
been dived into of like, wait, but okay, because he talks about in the beginning about how they don't they won't put a core of a child
Right.
into an adult
Right.
coil. Which great. Ethically
you.
awesome. Good job not being morally weird.
Yeah.
But then you're like, but how are children born? Because you've also said that procreation isn't really like a thing anymore, except for Earth side.
Right. It's looked down upon when you're on other planets
Yeah.
or hubs because there's not enough
Only
room for
Earth
everybody.
people are still like having babies normally.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wanted to hear more about Earth too. And we got like a little glimpse towards the end of the book where I don't remember what it was about, but it made it sound like the people on Earth are the people who have it better, basically. Even though it's like a compromised ecosystem,
Mhm.
they still have it better than anyone up in a hub.
Yeah. So
I-
you have more space.
Right.
You have more freedoms.
You can travel
Mhm.
much more easily. But I'm like, okay, but does that mean that people are banished to hubs? Like, why would you then choose how do you choose?
Yeah.
Why would you choose hub over Earth life? Is it bad? Like,
Yeah.
you're allowed to have sex and babies, so why would you leave that? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Or he's slow. I think that was my frustration with the whole book, is we kept getting half of a story
Yeah.
where I was like, okay, you started to dive a little bit into why can he shoot guns so well?
Yeah.
And he had jobs before he was doing the repo stuff.
Yep.
Okay, was he actually like in the military, or was he, like,
No idea.
we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We know find out.
No.
Again, I feel like it was supposed to be a series, and perhaps
The burned out on it or something.
maybe burned out, maybe just whatever publicity or effect that his book had in the beginning just didn't amount to enough attention to keep writing.
Mhm.
But yeah, lots of potholes, and they were filled with massacres of humans. I also kept thinking about that as I was reading, because he kept describing them as coils or zombies or just other names other than the fact that these were actual people
Yeah.
that were taken over by this AI,
Yeah.
and you're killing people,
Yeah.
other humans.
Yeah. But like while I was reading it too, I had told you guys about this earlier. Like it made me really want to go back and rewatch Upload,
Yes.
the Amazon Prime TV show. I just finished season 3, and that's as far as they have out. And they always leave on the biggest cliffhangers,
Really?
and I'm so mad.
I can't do that.
But yeah, because it kind of takes away the thought of immortality. Like
Right.
you can have an existence after you die, and
Mhm.
what does that look like? What can you do with it? And so
Yep.
it takes away, like, oh, I'm not really afraid to die anymore because I'm going to come back.
Right.
It's like, what does that change in your mind to think, like, I don't have to worry about that anymore?
Right.
What do I do with that?
Interpersonal relationships too. So like, are you going to be with someone forever? Like, does monogamy even exist at that point in our
Right.
system?
Well,
Because
can relationship in general really exist? Because, like, if you think about it, okay, so my parent, like, say you have parents,
and that sounds rare in this world.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he never talks about having any sort of familial
No.
relationships at all.
He doesn't even talk about how, I want to, like you said, I want to know how he was made. Like, where did you start from?
Yeah.
How were you earthbound and then got to go here because the technology was advanced enough by the time you
I think he
reached
does answer that he is from
He
a
is.
hub.
on
He's
Earth.
not from Earth.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Skip that.
That he
I
was
think I missed that too.
Yeah.
born into.
Oh,
It sounds familiar, though, now that you're saying that.
yeah.
That he's never been Earthside.
Did you have any favorite scenes or chapters or moments? I have one.
None that I can think of off the
You're
top of
like,
my head.
no. I love when they went to Shay's apartment.
Oh yeah, her
But
like beautiful apartment.
Her bunker that was 2 times the size of his apartment, but it was snuck into this random wall that she just found and hid herself in for who knows how many years, how many centuries. I thought that was so cool and so
Yeah.
genius. Like her, I want a whole book of her. I want a whole book of Corbin because I think her life was so much more interesting than Carter's. I'm like, she's this
hacker,
dope hacker
Yeah.
who has completely immersed herself in so many different worlds,
Mhm.
and she's wealthy and can spend money on both of them, whereas Carter is immediately, like, the first thing in the book is worried about how much money he has left in
Yeah.
order to make sure that his insurance is intact for his next recoil if that ever when that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved her apartment and that whole scene, and it made me understand her a little bit better and kind of gravitate to her a little bit more. Yeah.
I enjoyed the book in general. I think like when I finished it, it wasn't like oh well, that was a complete waste of 6 hours or what,
No.
like
Yeah.
I felt like mostly satisfied in finishing it.
Yeah.
Obviously the epilogue felt rushed and
Yeah.
left a lot to be desired, but
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agreed. Don't feel like my time was wasted or anything like that. I enjoyed a good 75% of that book.
especially because I don't read science fiction, and
Very
so that
often.
was really at all. I mean, other
Really.
than like, I read a a series in high school, like junior high and high school, the extras specials.
Oh yeah.
That series, which is also kind of similar in some way. So
It
I don't know
is.
if you ever read this series, but basically when you turn, I think it's 18, you get to have this like plastic surgery to make yourself into as beautiful as possible. And then you get to go live in like
The capital kind of
city.
Oh.
Yeah.
Um,
And it is plastic surgery, but
Yeah.
we're talking like you can look like a snake, you can
Yeah.
have scales, you can have like crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Like you could choose all these different things to make yourself look very different and special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is what beauty is. That's what is considered beautiful in that version of
but then
their
you
world.
also have to give up everything from your past life.
Oh, wow.
So like you have to, you leave it.
Yeah.
Like the day you go to have your surgery, you
Mhm.
never go back to your old room. Like you just have to move on.
Yeah, because now you're special.
Yeah.
They're very interesting books. I am always weirded out that those are in the kids section
Yeah.
because they're
They're
pretty
YA.
dark.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, they are very dark, but they are technically YA. But it was like the Divergent series before Divergent was
Yeah.
a thing.
I read it on Kindle.
Mhm.
While I liked this version of science fiction, I did spend a lot of the book like looking up words
Yeah.
because the technology explanations went right over my head. And then the more battle scenes happened, the more it became like very militaristic and like war descriptions. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I'm going to have to Google that.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot and I love that about a book. Teach me the things.
The weaponry to me was really interesting, like the different types of like space guns they had because they were working in like no gravity.
Right.
And so describing the gun that basically microwaves your insides.
Yeah.
Like that part was kind of like interesting. But then the assassin still chooses to use like old
Knives.
school long blades.
If it ain't broke.
I
Don't
guess.
fix it.
Yeah.
It was obviously effective. He lasted the longest.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing that I was like, wait, what? And it was only described in the epilogue. He comes in and Shay and Carter both think that he survived because he's in the same exact coil.
Yeah.
But it's not the same exact. He just has specifications for his coils. So that was the other thing. It was
Homegrown.
like,
Yes.
homegrown, right?
Yeah.
With the coil thing and relationships, it's like, okay, so you're with someone, they die, they get put into a new coil. What if you're not attracted to the new coil?
Exactly.
Right.
Or which like is relevant. Like obviously relationships are more about
The person.
more than just the physical attraction, but that's important.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you are female presenting
Yes.
and that's your preference and then you are too broke so your partner gets recoiled into another female. What if you wanted only to be with men?
Yeah.
What now? Are we done?
Yeah.
Or we
Do we
and
wait?
then you get like if you kill yourself, you get punished.
Oh, yeah,
Basically, you have to wait longer for a new coil because they are limited because it takes so long to grow them within the labs.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
Also, do they not have belly buttons then?
Like Kyle XY?
Yes.
Kyle XY.
Man, those were the days.
Gone too
Good
soon.
old. Yeah.
Yeah, it got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
for sure. After like I think 2 seasons,
Maybe.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
it lasted longer than that. Oh.
I don't know.
It's really
I only
in
ever
there.
watched.
Yeah.
I think maybe the first season.
Oh,
I
loved
wasn't
Kyle.
allowed to watch it.
Yeah.
I loved Kyle XY.
ABC Family Man. They were pushing the
They
limits on what I was allowed to watch.
were.
Wasn't that where what's the
Secret
team?
Life
Secret
of
Life
a
American Teenager.
Yeah.
Which I also secretly watched.
I did too.
With
I
the
was like,
volume
I
on like
will watch
2.
this.
Absolutely.
Because the whole thing was like, it's glorifying teen pregnancy. I'm like, no, it's not.
Mm.
And the same thing too with when I watched Teen Mom as an adult. Because I watched it when I was, an adult. I was 19. But because I watched
Legally.
it all on Jansen's iPad after I had my gallbladder surgery.
Oh.
And because he gave me his iPad for during that 2 weeks
Aw.
that I couldn't like do
Move.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had to be flat on my back for the first like 4 days. And so I watched basically all of 16 and Pregnant and then Teen Mom OG.
Yeah.
And people who were like, oh, back in the day when they're like, it's glorifying teen pregnancy, more teenagers are going to get pregnant. I'm like, first of all, absolutely not.
No,
Some of these
Rachel.
kids were straight up living in their cars.
Oh yeah, research has said since
Mhm.
we've had decades now of the show being on. Research has said and gone back and looked.
Yeah.
Teen pregnancy went down.
Yes,
within the first 2 seasons of that show being on air.
because kids were finally getting some form of a sex education.
Yes.
To be like, hey, do you want to end up like this girl who's now stuck with this deadbeat for the rest of her life, tied to this child?
The only couple that I love from that is what's her face?
Caitlin and Tyler.
Caitlin, because they're still together.
No.
No.
They broke up.
What?
Recently, though.
Recently, like this year.
Okay, thank you, because I just saw a video like within the
Yeah.
last couple of weeks and they were together.
So they're still co-parenting, and I think they may even still be living together, but they're not together anymore.
No, that's sad. Well, at least
Yeah.
they're co-parent.
But then you have Amber.
Oh yeah, no.
Trash Amber, who
And Gary.
no,
Gary.
Gary's like the good parent now.
Well, but like back
I know
then,
back then
I don't
gross.
keep up with them at all.
First
I
of
just
all,
know
he was
from
a grown man and she was a child.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, he has like full custody.
Wow.
Yeah.
He
Didn't he
is
just like
married.
disappear for a minute
No,
recently?
so her fiance is also named Gary and went missing,
Stop.
but he was found.
Stop.
Okay, I was so confused. Also, I didn't know
Yes.
that because I don't keep up.
Yeah.
But I saw a picture and I was
Yes.
like, that doesn't look like the Gary I remember, but
Unless he's now bald, slightly Asian,
and very thin.
and very thin.
Gary, what'd you do?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So many changes.
Yeah.
No,
was
no,
just
no. Gary literally looks exactly like he did in 16 and
Funny.
Pregnant,
Oh my
but
gosh.
just older.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah, no, they're oh my god, what is their daughter's name? Doesn't matter.
Couldn't tell
Whatever.
No.
Wants basically nothing to do with Amber
Oh.
because she's just so awful. She fully lost custody of her. And then her ex got full custody of the son that she had later on too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
To wrap up, what stars would you give it out of 5?
Well, like a 3.5.
Okay.
Maybe a 3.3.
Yeah, I'd say like a 3.5, 4.
3.5.
Yeah.
I'm a harsh critic. I give it a 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I am like
She's a Goodreads.
I'm not
critic.
used to
am.
rating.
Yeah.
Oh,
People be harsh on Goodreads.
yeah. I've been on Goodreads. It's like a book review site.
Yeah.
It's owned by Amazon now.
Oh.
And they've never updated the app, by the way, in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's so old. But yeah, the books that are like my 4 and 5s, very few. We're talking like less than 10.
Yeah.
And 3 is my norm. If I liked it, would recommend, it's a 3. A 2 is just, there's too many plot holes for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out of the book wanting, I needed to know so much more.
Yeah.
That's a 2. But I like your rating.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it's like 3.5.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Should we talk about August books?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I
You
brought
have actual physical books, so let's
always.
and look at the black pages.
I know.
So cool.
So cool. Okay, so I impulse bought this at Target a while ago by Lee Bardugo, who wrote. Let me go to the back of the book. She wrote Hellbent, Ninth House, and the Shadow and Bone trilogy that we've talked about before. I brought one of her other books, Six of Crows, which is a duology, a couple of pod weekends ago.
Mhm.
But this is a standalone novel. I'll just read the inner page. Fate can be changed. Curses can be broken. In a shabby house on a shabby street in the new capital of Madrid, Luisa Cortado uses scraps. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope, back up. The new capital of Madrid, Luisa Cortado is the main character, uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil as a scullion. But when her scheming mistress discovers the lump of a servant cowering in the kitchen is actually hiding a talent for little miracles, she demands Luisa use those gifts to better the family's social position. What begins as a simple amusement for the nobility takes a perilous turn when Luisa garners the notice of Antonio Perez, the disgraced secretary to Spain's king. Still reeling from the defeat of his armada, the king is desperate for an advantage in the war against England's heretic queen, and Perez will stop at nothing to regain the king's favor. Determined to seize this one chance to better her fortunes, Lucia plunges into a world of seers and alchemists, holy men and hucksters, where the lines between magic, science, and fraud are never certain. But as her notoriety grows, so does the danger that her Jewish blood will doom her to the Inquisition's wrath. She will have to use every bit of her wit and will to survive, even if that means enlisting the help of Julian Santangel, an embittered immortal familiar who owns secrets could prove deadly for them both.
Oh my.
Also, the inside pages are so fucking cool. They're like pomegranates and spell bottles.
Wow.
Cool.
So cool.
What's funny is the book that I brought was like compared to the Ninth House.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Also, this still has the receipt from when I bought it in May 2021.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Your TBR shelf.
This is by Jennifer Saint. It's a novel called Ariadne, which I believe is Greek mythology, if I'm not mistaken, but let's read. Ariadne, princess of Crete, yes, grows up greeting the dawn from her beautiful dancing floor and listening to her nursemaid stories of gods and heroes. But beneath her golden palace echo the ever-present hoofbeats of her brother, the Minotaur, a monster who demands blood sacrifice. When Theseus, the prince of Athens, arrives to vanquish the beast, Ariadne sees in his green eyes not a threat, but an escape. Defying the gods, betraying her family and country, and risking everything for love, Ariadne helps Theseus kill the Minotaur. But will Ariadne's decision ensure her happy ending? And what of Phaedra, the beloved younger sister she leaves behind? Hypnotic, propulsive, and utterly transporting, Jennifer Saint's Ariadne forges a new epic, one that puts for the forgotten women of Greek mythology back at the heart of the story as they strive for a better world.
Interesting.
Wow.
Wow.
So those are my two to add to the wheel.
Okay.
You brought one, Halsey?
Yeah, just one. It is called Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma. There's umlauts in her last name, so which is the little dots above the O. Torses.
Sure.
Emma T.
Emma T. It's spelled T-O with umlauts R-Z-S.
Cool. What do you got?
Okay.
Oh, please, I had to bring up the summary that ChatGPT did for me. Oh no, it went away.
Why not read the synopsis on the Amazon page?
Yeah, I'll just do that. Well, because it was long, and so I wanted a shorter one.
Oh.
But it's okay. It is a standalone.
Okay.
Which I feel like is good for us.
Yeah.
Okay. For generations, the Clote family has guarded a collection of ancient and rare books. Books that let a person walk through walls or manipulate the elements. Books of magic that half-sisters Joanna and Esther have been raised to revere and protect. All magic comes with a price, though, and for years the sisters have been separated. Esther has fled to a remote base in Antarctica to escape the fate that killed her own mother, and Joanna's isolated herself in their family home in Vermont, devoting her life to the study of these cherished volumes. But after their father dies suddenly while reading a book Joanna has never seen before, the sisters must reunite to preserve their family's legacy. In the process, they'll uncover a world of magic far bigger and more dangerous than they ever imagined, and all the secrets their parents kept hidden. Secrets that span centuries, continents, and even other libraries.
Ooh. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It's funny. I still hope that we get see Addie LaRue because I want you to read it so bad.
Well, I'm keeping that on the list.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of thinking my second choice because Jansen picked it and it's another like.
Oh, I was going to ask, did
Sci-fi.
you bring one?
I did, but I'm contemplating not
Okay.
bringing it to the table
Okay.
because it's a Stephen King.
I do like Stephen King, but
Have you read Billy Summers?
No. I think he's talked to me
It's
about
a-
it though.
Yeah, he keeps talking about it to me too. I'll
Yeah.
read it. If you guys aren't into it, then we
Okay.
cannot include it. But chances are, if you're a target of Billy Summers, two immutable truths apply. You'll never even know what hit you, and you're really getting what you deserved. He's a killer for hire and the best in the business, but he'll do the job only if the assignment is a truly bad person. But now time is catching up with him, and Billy wants out. Before he can do that, though, there's one last hit, which promises a generous payday at the end of the line, even as things don't seem quite on the level here. Given that Billy is among the most talented snipers in the world, a decorated Iraq war vet, and a virtual Houdini when it comes to vanishing after the job is done, what could possibly go wrong? How about everything? Part war story, part love story to small town America and the people who live there, this spectacular thriller of luck, fate, and love will grip readers with its electrifying narrative as a complex anti-hero with one last shot at redemption must avenge the crimes of an extraordinarily evil man. You won't ever forget this stunning novel from master storyteller Stephen King, but you will never forget Billy.
Oh, I mean, I'm kind of.
The audiobook is read by this guy, and it's very good.
Okay. I just don't know if I can do another military thing right after reading Re-Coil. But
so
I
we'll
do want to save it.
It is very much not military. There is
he's
a part of this book that is focused around him working a job, and then probably 3/4 of it is dealing with the outcome.
Okay.
But we can save it for
Can
later.
we add it to the pot for August or for September?
Yeah.
I think, I just don't know if I can do more shooting.
I'll take it off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I just need a break from guns.
So I also have like all the last ones from.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to keep those in the mix, or are there any you're wanting to remove?
Can you remove yoke?
Yep.
I did it on Audible. It's good.
Do you want me to read the other options that were on here?
Just to remind me.
Mad Money. I think this was you.
Mm-hmm.
The Heaven and Earth grocery store.
You can take out Mad Money. I think Heaven and Earth grocery store, though, is a good.
The Lost Bookshop.
Sorry, leave that one. Take out the grocery store one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also Mad Money.
Yeah.
Keep.
So take out the other two.
Okay.
And just leave the
bookshop.
The bookshop one.
Six of Crows.
You can remove.
Good Material.
Keep that one. It's newer.
Okay.
Okay. And Addie's still in there?
Yeah, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
I'm really rooting for her.
Ready?
Root for one of my picks. You've had one of your picks. One of Kelly's picks.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well.
What?
Hey.
Well, okay,
Ink,
there
blood,
you go.
Sister Scribe. Let's go.
Ink, blood, sister, scribe. Okay.
I like that it was about sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Who's it by again?
It is by Emma Torse.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It was also
Emma T.
Emma T. It was one of those ones of like I saw it in Target and the cover really grabbed me and I was like, ooh.
You judged a book by its cover?
I judge all books by their covers.
My friend Bree would absolutely read a book that looks like that.
Yeah. Well, this is the version of the cover that I saw in Target.
That's cooler.
Let me see.
Show Kelly.
Like, yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, Addie.
How cool.
Maybe next
someday.
time.
I really want to read that too.
We can read Addie LaRue instead if you guys want to.
We respect the wheel.
Okay.
The wheel has spoken.
Did you, now that you've spun, do you want to add the one that Jansen recommended for next month so that it's in there?
So you don't forget.
It's on. I have show notes, and I
you're so
don't
smart.
touch them until the
Wow.
until the.
Nice. You just cross.
Wow.
So
Nice.
yeah,
So
I'll keep
organized.
that book on my list, and then I can
Okay.
edit later.
So this is for August, right?
Yeah, that's our August book.
Yeah.
Pick up your August
yeah,
book
yeah.
at your local small bookstore or
Library
or Libby or Audible.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to Book Clurb.
Thanks.
Thanks for bringing your books.
Thanks for a good pick, Kel.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
A
yeah.
person I worked with had recommended the book.
Yeah.
Because they were reading it and enjoying it, so
Yeah.
it was on my list. So I'm glad I finally got to read it.
I'm glad you recommended something different. I'm glad that it feels like we're getting little mixtures of everything we like from
Well,
each
and it
other.
worked out perfectly because your pick was first.
Yeah.
And then Kelly's and then mine.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, that's it.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Blood and Contracts.
Please subscribe if you're on YouTube, and you can also subscribe if you're on podcast platforms. Fun fact, and then you'll get a notification every time an episode comes out right to your phone. Super easy.
For free.
Oh, free 99. And if you are gonna do book club with us, let us know on the socials. We'll post something so that you can all congregate, comment, and then we'll link it out so that you can easily grab the book wherever you wish. I'm always co-hosted by my sister by blood,
Elsie,
and my sister by contract,
Ellie.
Thanks for a great pod weekend, y'all. My name is Bailey. Thanks for listening to Blood and Contracts. We'll see you on the next one.
goodbye.